And just like that, we're back. The Views from Section 400 podcast. Matt and Brian here for some uninterrupted sports conversation. Jack, a little busy at the moment, can't make it for this one, but I'm sure he'll be in the next one. I don't know why I started out super happy. I guess it's Cinco de Mayo, so I'm having a little couple beverages here on a Sunday afternoon, but happy Cinco de Mayo to all who celebrate, all who just drink because it's an excuse to drink. Props to you. I'm taking part in that as well. But like I said, not sure why I'm so happy because the Sixers are out of the playoffs. I know I was there's Brian clapping. I was extremely delusional about their run, and they didn't even make it to the second round. I guess you can't go out in the second round if you don't even make it there. So they got knocked out. It's now all the rumors start of who are they going to add, not add. I don't care. Just please no more Tobias Harris. Please. That's all I ask. But yeah, Sixers are out. And Brian, how'd the Maple Leafs do?
Yeah, I figured that would come after I clapped about your Sixers losing. They gave me so much hope in the third period. They had a big goal with like 10 minutes left, and not even like 40 seconds later. Of course, I tweet something. I blame myself for this. And then 20 seconds after the tweet sends, Bruins equalizing goal, and then they win it in overtime.
Well, regardless of hope, man, like they won all those games to get it back to game 7.
Yeah.
And then took the lead kind of late in the third period, went up 1-0. And then what was it? A minute and 20 seconds later, the Bruins tied it right back up. Were you just like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, my emotions were going crazy. And then to end regulation with like 5 seconds left, they just had a bullshit like hit it towards the net, goes off the defender's skate on the Bruins, and the goalie makes an incredible save. So the emotional roller coaster I was on Saturday night it was rough. But this might be the worst. Well, yeah, because Kansas won a game in the tournament, so it's the worst future I've at least been a part of on this show. But I'm willing to take that. Hockey's not my strong suit, so it is what it is.
It's not as bad as McNeese, man. So you got that going for you. But yeah, no, I mean, it is what it is. We're obviously we cover all the sports, but hockey might not be our strongest suit. I'd say we're definitely NFL is our top tier, but we like to cover it all here at Section 400. It's what we do. Moving it, regardless, Brian and I are in shambles. The Sixers are out. Maple Leafs are out. On a positive note, the Avalanche moved on and the Panthers moved on. So my future for hockey is still alive, and Jack's future for hockey is still alive. So that's what you get at Section 400. Sometimes we have a collective future. Sometimes we split it 3 ways. Brian's went down. We still got 2 standing strong and look pretty primed to continue to make this run towards the Stanley Cup. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of weeks. I think both those teams have a real shot.
Yeah, and of course, just out of some irony, both other Canadian teams are in, so I picked the wrong Canadian team to pick.
I was going to say, I think I said that to you maybe a week or so ago. I was like, Brian, are you just rooting for a Canadian team, man? You just want to see some Canadian team get the cup?
I want to see the cup come home.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. But yeah, either way, Brian's team's out. My team, Avalanche, still alive. Jack's team, Panthers, still alive. So stay tuned for that. That'd be wild if we see them match up in the finals. I'm really kind of hoping for that. I think that'd be fun. We could do something fun with that. But either way, collective shambles on the Sixers and Brian and the Maple Leafs. But as always, we always start the show off with either Michael of the Week or winners and losers. This week, we got the Michael of the Week. So without further ado, Brian, what shocked you? What surprised you? What's your Michael of the Week in the world of sports?
It's kind of a 2-part shocker. So the first shock to me this week was finding out CBS still does a pregame show for the football games. I mean, I kind of knew that was a thing, but also now in the age of Red Zone and NFL Fantasy Live and all this NFL Network's game day, you'd think these regional networks would just kind of calm down with the pregame shows. But off of that, I also realized Boomer Esiason and Phil Simms were still doing the pregame show. Not only were those guys mediocre quarterbacks, but they're also mediocre football announcers. Phil Simms got kicked out of the booth for a reason. But they're no longer doing it. JJ Watt and Matt Ryan are taking over in the CBS studio. So I
So what
kind
is it like? It's like just like 12 o'clock noon Eastern when they do that pregame show. I thought Fox and CBS always had that. What's so
yeah,
surprising?
I thought they did too. I just didn't realize it was such a big thing where they were going to kick two guys out to bring in two new guys when I really don't think it gets that much viewership.
Isn't it like they have like Bill Cowher does it as well?
Yeah, it's a
And
bunch of lemons.
yeah, I guess so. But I mean, yeah. So what are they changing? They're just bringing JJ Watt in and the other guy and kicking the other two out.
Yeah, they're bringing in JJ and Matt Ryan. They're kicking Boomer and Phil Simms out. And apparently they also brought in Nate Burleson a couple years ago. So they're getting younger.
I remember seeing Burleson, but I guess what Matt Ryan formerly retired, so he can finally do other things with his life.
Yeah, instead of waiting for the Colts to call him in week 8 and run for his life.
Matt Ryan is not an elite quarterback. I'm sorry to say to you, Atlanta fans, but it's just not the case.
Yeah,
You agree or disagree, Ryan? Because I know we've had this debate, and I know not only us having the debate. I should say more just the Atlanta fans think he's elite, and the rest of the NFL or the rest of the NFL fans don't think that's the case.
yeah, one of my favorite days of all time down in Auburn was when we counter protested a protest and I had the Crutch Crab and Fair sign. My guy Fahad had the Matt Ryan is elite sign. And there were a few Matt Ryan is elite chants going. So I don't know how on brand with that take I can get. Um, just to not disappoint Fahad and my Falcons fan friends. But I mean, if he won that Super Bowl, he would definitely be considered elite, but he
He could
choked
have
it.
a way better case for it, but not really I mean, besides that year, not really great playoff success his whole career.
He did win an MVP. I think that same
Sure.
year, which I guess kind of taints it.
But either other than that, I mean, he had a nice career, but we'll put it this way. Is he going to make the Hall of Fame?
No.
Probably not, right? I don't think and if he does, I would be shocked.
He might get on there and like his last year on the ballot, but he's gonna have a hard time getting in.
It's not going to be easy, Rod. I'll tell you that much.
No.
But what, did you have a second part for your Michael of the week?
No, the first part was the fact they still had a pregame show. The second part was that they're replacing people on that pregame show.
That's JJ Watt and Matt Ryan. Hey, I mean, I know JJ Watt's got a pretty good personality, so he might be able to spice it up a little bit. Matt Ryan seems pretty bland,
Yeah,
regular. I don't think I've listened to him too much, so
I think he did a little bit of broadcasting stuff last year, but
we'll see. But either way, that'll be interesting to see. I usually watch the Fox kickoff show, and then I watch the CBS one later in the day. I don't know why. I guess because Fox usually does the Eagles games, so I just kind of lean towards Fox. And then later in the day, I do like the CBS coverage. I don't know. That's kind of weird. I have no idea why it rolls that way. But my Michael of the week. So over the weekend, they had the CJ Cup Byron Nelson. I don't know why they named it that whole weird name, but it was a PGA Tour. It actually just ended Sunday. Pretty wild ending. So go check the highlights out to that if you want to see the crazy missed putts on 18. But what I was shocked about when they talking about in the coverage is Byron Nelson won 11 tournaments in a row. Sure, it was back in the 40s, but 11 tournaments in a row. I think right now, if you win like 3 or 4 in a row, is like unbelievable, amazing. 11, I don't care, is in the 40s or whenever it was. 11 in a row is tough.
yeah, very tough. I'm interested to see for like the golf historians out there if they consider it Mickey Mouse just from all the World War II stuff that was going on. I don't know if any golfers had got drafted and had to miss some tournaments.
Like now they have Live Golf, so everything's Mickey Mouse now.
It's true. Yeah, you're not wrong. I think Scotty's on 5 in a row. I think his last one was his 5th in a row. So maybe he's got a shot.
Maybe
But
he's got a shot, but I mean, dude, even with all the other guys from Live playing, Scotty's still the best, man. I mean, he's unbelievable.
yeah, yeah, and if he breaks that, he's gonna have to win a bunch of majors too with the live guys there. So I mean,
I
shout
mean,
out.
I already brought up the question, I think, in a couple pods ago. Does Scotty Scheffler have a chance to be better than Tiger Woods? I didn't say that he is right now, but over the course of his career, could he get there? I think he's got a shot.
Yeah, I think a lot of people always have a shot. Now, how much of a shot that is remains to be seen. But
Still young, man. I think he's only like 27.
yeah, he's gonna have to deal with Tiger's son soon. Charlie's gonna be on the tour before you know it.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see, and I can't wait for that. But that's the Michael of the week. That's what shocked me. Obviously, Brian is shocked about the upcoming CBS pregame show. So we'll see how that rolls out. And obviously, we'll be dialed in to some more golf coverage as the season pretty much heats up, right? I mean, it's golf season right now. So I can't wait for that to happen. I can't wait to see Scotty. Scotty also, by the way, did not play this weekend. So that's how you know it's kind of a nonsense tournament. They didn't even have Jim Nance calling it. So whatever. But that's the Michael of the week. Stay tuned for all the clips and check out our winners and losers that come out later in the week. Let's roll into some NBA playoffs, right? I know we kind of touched on it with the Sixers being out. But we had a pretty crazy weekend with the Game 7 Magic Cavs. I said the Magic didn't have a shot to even win a game, and they forced the Game 7.
Yeah, they started this series off real rough, and it seemed like they got better as the games went on. Unfortunately, it just ran out of steam today. Besides Paolo, no one really showed up for them. And Donovan Mitchell, after getting knocked down in the first round last year, did not want to go home again. So he played out of his mind, and that's all it took.
Who do you got? Cavs or Celtics?
Uh, I'm not going to say a sweep, but I think the Celtics, like gentlemen, sweep them. The Cavs will get a win at home, but
Is Porzingis back?
so he will probably be out for game one, maybe game two, but he'll be back.
And I really don't know that that's going to move the needle enough for the Cavs to win that series.
Yeah, it definitely hurts the Celtics a little more against the Cavs than it would against the Magic, just because you got to deal with Mobley, and then Jared Allen also has his injury thing going on.
Yeah.
But the Cavs do have a big
Yeah,
man.
they do have good big men there, but they if Porzingis was out the whole series, I could see it being more interesting. But I think Tatum and Jaylen Brown obviously outweigh Donovan Mitchell, right? I mean, those are the superstars. And you can say what you want to say about Darius Garland. You can say what you want to say
He's
about
been horrible.
oh yeah, I haven't been
Yeah.
keeping up with that series that much. But I mean, I know he's a nice player, but you know, is he on the level of a Tatum, a Brown, a Mitchell? Might be close, but I don't think he's there.
No. And then I know you kind of shat all over Drew Holiday a couple pods ago, but he will be probably manning up Mitchell. And I mean, Mitchell can get his own shot against anybody, but that is a tough matchup.
That'll be a fun matchup to watch. I'm looking forward to that because Drew Holiday plays that, pesky, annoying defense. We'll see how it fares, but I think the Celtics are going to be able to get that one done.
Yeah, I think they're plus 200 right now to win the finals, probably because the East is such a cakewalk for them.
Such a cakewalk, man. But speaking of Western Conference, Eastern Conference, over in the West, the Mavs are moving on. So James Harden forcing his way out of Philly and going to the Clippers. That didn't work out, bud.
No, it did not. And listen, Kyrie Irving, I mean, I've always loved Kyrie Irving, but I think now finally that he has Luka there, but these last couple games, he's kind of had to be the closer, the facilitator, and the main scorer because Luka hasn't completely been on his game, and he's kind of showing that he can do that. Listen, the Thunder, we're going to be rooting for the Thunder, obviously, but I'd love to see Kyrie continue to just go crazy.
I'm a bit, excuse me, I'm a big Luka fan, so I love to see what he can do. And like, I want to see the guy get a ring, man. I want to see Luka get it done. But I got to go with the Thunder, dude. That's our pick. Those are our guys.
Yeah, got him at what, plus 4,400 in the preseason, and now they're the third highest odds or third lowest odds, however you look at it, to win it all.
Ryan, when we gave that out, they were plus 8,000.
Well, there you go.
unreal. I mean, nobody's even talking about him. What were the odds what Jack said Timberwolves?
It had to be the same time. So their odds were definitely shorter, but even then, yeah, we got to find that clip of Jack because right after we finished talking about the Thunder, Jack also said he loves the Timberwolves.
Which was when he said that, I was I was unfamiliar with their game, I guess, because they are red hot. And maybe the Sixers can realize, hey, when you pair two great centers together, give Embiid some help, maybe they can figure something out there. But we'll wait and see what Daryl has up his sleeve, which I'm not too confident it's much. Let's move it on though. Well, I guess what are the matchups in the semis now, or the conference semifinals? Right, it's Mavs, Thunder, and then T Wolves, Nuggets.
Yep.
I was confident the Nuggets were going to steamroll through. Are we going to get a Timberwolves Thunder Western Conference Finals?
I think that would
That would be
that
awesome.
that would be awesome. I'd like to see Jack's reaction if that happened because he would be over the moon, and we would probably have to get some live shows going if it gets down to game 6 or game 7.
I was going to say, if it's late in the series, like definitely game 7, no question about it. But we'll probably have some fun planned for that whole series because that'll be a fun ride, man. I can't wait. And then I do know there's some random guy out there who had it was like the Chiefs and one other team, and then the Thunder to win it all, and it's like a crazy 6-figure payout. And his last pick is the Thunder, and he has a pretty sizable cash out on the table. I don't think he's pulled the trigger on it yet, and he's still letting it ride.
Yeah, I think it was Chiefs and Scotty Scheffler to win the Masters, and then the Thunder.
And Thunder. Well, I mean, if there was that much money, I want to say maybe it's like 30 or 40 grand he could cash out for, but if it hits, it's like 600K or no, it might even be over a million.
Yeah,
I think it's over a million.
with the Thunder odds, it's got to be pretty high.
But that much money staring you in the face, I don't know, man. But we'll wait and see what happens. Go Thunder. Moving on to the Pacers and the Knicks. Obviously, we talked about the Sixers. They lost, disastrous. But it's so hard for me to now hate the Knicks because, as you know, I'm a huge Nova guy. And that's literally the Villanova basically almost starting five with Brunson, DiVincenzo, and Josh Hart.
Yeah, when you think of the Knicks, especially under Tom Thibodeau, you really don't think of fun teams. But this Knicks team is so much fun. And people love hating New York teams, but they just don't feel like a true like New York, I hate this team kind of vibe. Because they're just fun. And maybe it's because they're the Nova guys, but
The Nova guys, isn't Jalen Brunson's dad on the coaching staff too? Or no?
no, I think he was sitting like right next to him in the game 7.
But he played for the Knicks or coached for the Knicks in the past.
Yes, he has some kind of tie.
Some kind of connection there.
Yeah, some kind of connection.
So you have that, and then yeah, I mean, I won't root for him. I'm not going to root for a New York team, but it's tough, man. I mean, those are the Nova Dogs right there, getting it done in the NBA at the next level. It's awesome to see, but and honestly, I don't want to knock on the Pacers because they got it done against the Bucks without Giannis. They got it done against the Bucks. I think the Knicks probably are good enough to get through them, but Siakam could cause them some issues.
Yeah, these are the in-season tournament runner-ups here. The Pacers have some postseason experience this season, so you can't get them out, especially with Halliburton.
That would be wild if they did. Well, the Pacers didn't win the in-season tournament, right?
They lost to the Lakers.
Lakers won it, which where are they even at? As LeBron likes to say, it's just basketball, bro. It's just basketball. Ridiculous. But yeah, and then I guess the final series or one of the final series is the Wolves and the Nuggets. And the Wolves already won game 1 behind 43 points from Anthony Edwards.
He went absolutely wild. I think he had 25 in the first half. Jamal Murray, he's got some kind of injury thing going on. Michael Porter Jr. is not affected by his brothers just causing scenes because he still looks electric. But the Nuggets always seem to kind of start games and series as slow. And I don't know if they can afford to do that against Anthony Edwards and these Timberwolves.
No. And I like Ant Edwards just with how much confidence he plays with, right? Like KD's out on the court. He's not scared. He's not backing down. He doesn't care who you are. Clearly, Jokic out there. Sure, they're not guarding each other, but he's not backing down. He's not stepping down. He's ready to go, ready to fight, ready to win a series, and he's trying to win a damn championship. So I love the way he plays, the confidence, the energy, all of that. It's really cool to see Anthony Edwards thrive. Who, oh, by the way, guy went to Georgia. Like nobody, I don't remember watching him at Georgia. Georgia was irrelevant in college basketball and still are, to be honest. No hate to Georgia, but they're irrelevant in college basketball. And that's where he went. And guys balling out in the NBA.
Yeah, I only remember him in college because he was playing against Auburn. But hey, Georgia was a Final Four in the NIT this year. So they did something.
Okay. I guess they're relevant in the NIT.
They got shit pumped by Seton Hall in the semis.
It's ridiculous. So what is the Nuggets series or Nuggets T-Wolves? That's in Minnesota right now? Where's that in?
It's in Denver.
It's in Denver. So they stole game 1. You think the Nuggets probably win game 2 here?
Yeah, they're favored by 6. I'm very tempted to take that because that seems like they bounce back and win by like 10 here.
No, man. Didn't the T-Wolves just sweep the Suns?
The Suns are garbage. There's already so many reports coming out of Phoenix. Bradley Beal's toxic and Devin Booker's not happy. That organization is just a shit show.
It's a shit show. Yeah, I agree. Feels like the Nuggets should be able to tie it up going back to Minnesota, but we'll see what happens. It's going to be now the playoffs get wild.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. You can well, no, you can't. I was going to say you can argue for any one of these teams to win it all, but besides like the Cavs and maybe the Pacers, and any other one of these teams could make a run. They're talented enough to make a run.
What's the realistic shot of teams to win it all? I say the Celtics, maybe the Knicks, the Timberwolves, the Nuggets. Am I leaving somebody out?
Our Thunder.
Oh, the Thunder. True.
I do think the winner of the Western Conference is going to win it all. Even though the Celtics have the cakewalk and they'll get there. The West is so tough that whoever makes out of that gauntlet's going to be playing with so much confidence. And they're all so good. And I hope it's the Thunder, but my brain right now is telling me the winner of this Nuggets Timberwolves series is going to take it.
He's going to win it all. That's how I'm leading right now as well. So it's going to be an interesting next couple of weeks to see who actually ends up getting there. But, have to play the waiting game, and hopefully we can get a little Thunder Timberwolves Western Conference final. I think that would be really fun, not only to watch, but for the program here at Section 400. But speaking of playoffs, we have the NHL playoffs going on. And we touched on it in the beginning, and the Maple Leafs lost.
Yeah, they did. And I'm sad about it.
Do you think the Bruins can win it all, man? I mean, I know David Pastrnak, electric player, just obviously, he saved the season for them yesterday, right? I mean, they won in overtime on his stick. So can they win it all? Maybe. But I don't know, man. Some of these teams just seem a little deeper, a little better. And the Bruins always choke. I mean, they almost did it again in the first round.
And the ideal scenario for me in these playoffs is the Bruins sweep the Panthers, or at least win before Game 7, so I can make fun of Jack and say at least we gave the Bruins a better contest. And then the Bruins go ahead and beat the Hurricanes, because fuck the Hurricanes. And then the Edmonton Oilers win it all, and the cup comes up.
And it comes up. I don't know. The Oilers are known choke artists in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, I want to see Connor McDavid win one.
I know the Canucks were good this year, but they just don't strike me as a team that's going to get it all done. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with Game 7. Obviously, we'll know the result when everybody's watching this. But Game 7's tonight as we're recording between the Knights and the Stars, who I thought the Stars were a fake 1 seed. They'll probably just get worked in the first round here. And it almost looked to be trending that way, but they fought back to tie the series and force a game 7.
And you know what? You spoke about the Canucks. I'm willing to make a bold take here. No team on the West Coast above the city of Los Angeles in any major sports league will win another championship.
Hold on. What did you just say?
No team on the West Coast located above the city of Los Angeles will ever win a major championship again.
Just in the NHL or all the major
Any
sports?
league, any league.
So you're talking like the 49ers, the Kraken.
No, oh yeah. Okay, above San Francisco. I got my California geography mixed up there.
So you're talking the Blazers.
Blazers, Seahawks, Kraken, Mariners, Canucks. Once the Supersonics move back.
The Oilers, Edmonton's very close. I mean, Edmonton's essentially the Pacific Northwest, just, in Canada.
Yeah, I don't count them. Maybe I will have to count them just for the sake of the sake.
Very close.
But yeah, no, Russell Wilson throwing that interception just cursed that whole region for the rest of time.
The whole region just on that play.
Yep.
I think that's a pretty bold take, and I think you'll get a lot of feedback on that. Maybe not positively, but you might get some feedback on that take. But yeah,
God hates that region. It rains all the time. Like it sucks there.
I mean, I was on board with the above LA take because I hate the Niners, so I would be gladly not have them ever win again. But we know that they're known fraud, so they won't be doing anything crazy. But last series that I want to touch on, Rangers and the Hurricanes. I mean, these two teams seem competent enough, other than the Panthers, to get it done in the East. I mean, it's a dogfight series. Two heavyweights going at it in the second round.
Yeah, the last time the New York region faced a hurricane, they were stronger than the Storm. So I'm just going to go with that take here and say the Rangers will be stronger than the Storm and take down the Hurricanes.
There you have it. Brian has the Rangers moving on in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I think it'll be interesting to see, as always, with all these playoff series. But the Hurricanes are legit. I know we say North Carolina or the Carolinas have fake sports fans, but the Hurricanes seem to be legit.
They do. And I might have to walk back that take already because they just played New Jersey and they were also stronger than the Storm. So maybe
I have to walk that back a little bit, but we'll wait and see how that plays out before you have to do that. But before we, I guess, wrap up the show, let's jump into some MLB and talk about the best team in baseball, the Philadelphia Phillies, who play in Sunday Night Baseball again. When you guys watch this, we already know the result, but looking to sweep the San Francisco Giants, who actually play in San Francisco, unlike the Niners, who play in Santa Clara. So always have to make that clear and apparent, frauds. But yeah, looking to sweep the Giants. Phillies are on a roll. Alec Boehm, best player in baseball right now, on pace for 150 RBI. Obviously not going to get there, but should clear 100 easily. Maybe even 120 would be nuts, but he's on pace to do great things this year. And Bryce Harper's still trying to get going. Does suck. We're not going to have Trey Turner for the next 5 or so weeks, but yeah, the Phillies are hot, and we'll see what they can do with that.
the Phillies are hot and the Mets are not. He talked about a possible sweep. The Mets just got swept by the Tampa Bay Rays. And the worst part about it, the Rays spent 2 days in their jerseys that have this Stingray skating on the skateboard, which I just had to look at and hate my life. But hey, Christian Scott came up, top prospect, and he shoved 6 innings and I think 6 strikeouts and only 1 run. Still lost the game, so he got the DeGrom treatment. Maybe he's going to be the next DeGrom because of that. But
They won the game or lost the game?
No, they lost. He gave up 1 run and they lost.
Classic. So what's up with this Christian Scott guy? Was like when you say top prospect, is that compared to a Brett Beatty or Francisco Alvarez or all those guys?
So you can just shit on you can just shit on him because Brett Beatty and Francisco Alvarez haven't been that great yet.
Well, I'm just curious to know what does that mean? Like he's the top prospect because the other top prospects in the organization already got called up.
Well, okay, so the consensus around the farm system was he's the best pitching prospect they've had since that crop of Wheeler, DeGrom, Syndergaard, Rafael Montero, who, by the way, is a great bullpen pitcher for the Astros now. Don't understand how that happened. But
That's lose all their greats.
all those guys. And then he did have the second highest whiff rate in the minor leagues behind only Paul Skeens. So Scott could be good.
So how old's the guy? Is he
He's,
like a young gun or is he like 25, 26?
I think he's very young.
Or is he like 22?
No, he's definitely below 24. I want to say 24, but that might even be calling him too old. I really didn't know much about this guy until this year. Apparently, he's been on their radar for a while. 1999, so he's 24. Yeah,
So what did you say? 25?
24.
24. All right. Well,
Pretty young.
the Mets can manipulate his service time if they need to.
Yeah, I guess.
Probably need pitching help, so he probably won't be getting sent down anytime soon.
No, yeah, they need Adrian Hauser and his bullpen pitching has been sent to the bullpen.
That's unbelievable, dude. But I've never seen a Phillies team like this, dude. It's just unbelievable the way they're playing, the way they're gelling together. I mean, Brian, you can't deny it. The Phillies are going to do special things this year.
I think verbatim you said that exact same sentence in the playoffs last season.
I did. And they were a great team. Went up 2-0 in the NLCS, fell apart in Arizona. The Eagles happened to have played in the Super Bowl that year in Arizona. So there was just bad Jonathan. And the Cardinals are out there with Jonathan Gannon, that old bullshit. So there's just bad juju in the air. I blame it on that. But
So
this
you're
is a
saying
different. The difference is there's no Craig Kimbrell, and the bullpen's electric, and the starting pitching's electric, and Ranger Suarez needs to be talked about in Cy Young awards.
I don't think he's gonna keep it going here. But
You
I agree with you. He's a good pitcher, but I don't think he's gonna keep it going for a Cy Young season.
don't think he's got it in him? I think he might have it in him.
With those kind of finesse guys, all it takes is like one start where you're off a little bit and give up like 10 runs, and then your Cy Young bid's over.
Yeah, you really do have to be electric all year long to even be considered for that award. But I mean, let me ask you this, who's the favorite right now that you would say for the AL Cy Young and the NL Cy Young? Do you have that in your wheelhouse right now or no?
AL, I'd go Tariq Skubal, and NL right now, Glass now.
Not Yamamoto because he got shelled in his first ever outing.
Not Yamamoto.
Be interesting to see, dude. I think I don't know. Has Scooble been like unbelievable?
He's got a sub 2 and he's striking out like eight, 9 guys every start.
So he's right up there with the best. And then, yeah, I mean the Degrom, Scherzer, like those guys haven't pitched.
Yeah, even Verlander came back, but he just hasn't done much.
Verlander came back. He's been good. He's been serviceable, but not Cy Young numbers.
It's a new era.
I think in the NL, if you don't want to talk about Ranger Suarez, you talk about your former boy Zach Wheeler, who's been pretty dynamite this year so far, and really his whole Phillies contract at that matter.
I'll never understand the Wilpons not offering him a contract. Because he was like inconsistent on the match, but he'd still give him like 6, 7 innings every start. And in today's baseball, that's worth a lot.
Very good, worth a lot, and look what he turned into, man. I mean, he's been dynamite his entire Philly tenure.
Yeah. At the same time, though, take whatever I say about pitching in Cy Youngs with a grain of salt. Back when MLB did their like MLB Vault thing for the 2020 decade picks, I picked Jack Flaherty to win the most Cy Youngs.
That's not working out.
That's not working out at all. I think I picked Walker Buehler to get the most pitching wins, and he's been hurt for most of the decade.
Walker Buehler and Dustin May have been like MIA with injuries for the last 2 years.
Yeah, Dustin May he needs to contemplate retirement because
The guy gets hurt every year.
Every year. His
Like
arm
the
is,
injuries as well.
yeah, I don't know what he did to his arm as a kid, but it's not great. It's
But what other stories you got here? You got anything else?
been a slow weekend.
Has been a slow weekend, but that's just the time of year we have right now.
Yeah,
We'll wait and see.
I guess quick shout out to Paulo Banchero for getting a rebound with a second left on the clock in Game 6. Hit his PRA, got me some money. So,
Props to that, dude.
yeah, thank
But
you, Paulo.
we'll see. Obviously, when everybody watches this, they'll already know the results. But I'm ready to see who takes it home in this Game 7 between the Knights and the Canucks. We can look back on it, or not. No, the
Knights,
Knights and the
yeah.
Stars. We'll look back on it tomorrow. But I'm going with the Golden Knights.
All right, I'll be different and take the Stars.
It's really anybody can win it, but I think the Knights have a little more experience. But it's really such a 50-50. The Stars very well could win.
Yeah, my buddy Brock deserves some sports happiness, and I'm willing to give it to him in hockey. So, well, actually, no, screw that. The Rangers won last year. He doesn't need anything.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'll go with the Knights with you.
That's a fair, yeah, there you go. Rock on. But I was going to say a fair compromise there. But yeah, slow sports week. We're still pumping out content. That's all I got for this one. Alls I ask, don't sign Tobias Harris. Please let him go. Sixers, please. That's all I got. I'll catch you in the next one.
A chore, a chore. Come play for Bruce. I know you want to.